He does the only sensible thing. He folds the bet. He keeps what he has. A coin would have paid him to play. He paid instead to stay still. You have done this, not at a table, in a brokerage account, in a salary negotiation, in a marriage of convenience to a job you outgrew years ago. You have called it prudence. Today we give it its real name. Here's a clean little experiment. I offer you a single flip of a fair coin. Heads, I pay you $150. Tails, you pay me 100. Pause on the mathematics. The odds are even. The reward is larger than the risk. A cold machine would take this bet every time it was offered forever and grow rich on the difference. And yet, when this is put to ordinary people, clever people, careful people, most decline. They will not risk 100 to win 150. The number you would need to dangle before them is closer to 200, sometimes more, before the bet feels fair. Sit with that gap. The pleasure of winning has to be roughly twice the size of the pain of losing before the two even out in the mind. This is the central finding of a paper published in 1979 by two psychologists, Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky. They called their work prospect theory. The phenomenon underneath it has a plainer name. Loss aversion. Losses loom larger than gains, not a little larger, about twice as large. It is not weakness, it is older than weakness. The creature that flinched harder from danger than it leapt toward reward was the creature that lived to flinch another day. We inherited its nerves, we just no longer live in its world. Picture a graph, across the middle a horizontal line. That is your starting point, the moment you call now. To the right, gains, to the left, losses. The curve of pleasure as you gain rises gently, then flattens. Your first $1,000 thrills you. Your 100,000 barely registers. Pleasure has a ceiling, and we reach it quickly. But walk left of that line into loss, and the curve does not mirror the gain. It plunges, steep, fast, far. The same $1,000 lost cuts roughly twice as deep as it would have lifted. This is the shape Kahneman and Tversky drew. A kinked line, bent sharply at the place we happen to be standing. Not at zero in the universe, at zero in our own ledger. And that is the quiet trap. The bend is not fixed in the world, it moves with us. Whatever you have right now becomes the cliff edge. Everything is measured as a gain or a loss from there. Give a man a coffee mug, studies have shown, and within minutes he will demand twice the price to part with it that he would have paid to buy it an hour before. Nothing about the mug changed, only which side of the line it now sat on. We do not own our possessions, exactly. They take up residence in our nervous system and charge rent in fear. Now watch this wiring loose inside a brokerage account, where it has a name of its own. A man holds two stocks. One has risen since he bought it, one has fallen. He needs to raise some cash. Which does he sell? Overwhelmingly, predictably, he sells the winner. He banks the gain. It feels like wisdom locking in a victory, taking money off the table. And he keeps the loser. He tells himself it will come back. He is not wrong to hope. He is wrong about why he is hoping. Because selling the loser would force him to do the one thing the wiring screams against, to realize the loss. To turn a number on a screen, still soft, still deniable, into a fact. A loss on paper is a possibility. A loss sold is a verdict. Economists call this the disposition effect. We sell our winners too early and ride our losers too long, precisely backward from what the cold machine would do. The winner we sell may have been the one still climbing. The loser we cling to may keep falling. We protect ourselves from the small pain of admitting a mistake and pay for that comfort with a larger one. Notice the shape of it. The pain we are avoiding is not financial. It is the pain of being wrong made official. We will lose real money to keep that feeling at bay. It does not stop at the markets. Once you see loss aversion, you see it furnishing whole lives. The job long outgrown, kept because leaving means giving up something certain for something unknown. The certain thing is mediocre. The unknown might be magnificent. The wiring does not care. The unknown wears the face of loss. The investment never made because the downside is vivid and the upside is abstract. You can picture losing the deposit. You cannot quite picture the 20 quiet years of compounding you forfeit by keeping the cash safe and shrinking under inflation. This is the cruelest turn. Loss aversion disguises itself as caution, but it does not actually keep you safe. It only hides one kind of loss, the visible kind, behind another that never sends an invoice. The bet declined is also a loss. The career not changed is a loss. The slow erosion of money sitting still is a loss. They simply do not arrive in red ink, so the nervous system never flinches. A thing worth saying plainly, the goal is not to stop fearing loss. The man who feels nothing at the edge of a cliff does not survive either. The goal is to stop letting a feeling calibrated for the savannah set the price of your future. So what does the keeper of a quiet fortune do, knowing the line bends beneath his feet? He learns first to distrust the word safe when it arrives too easily. He asks whether he is protecting his capital or only protecting his comfort. They are not the same, and the second one is expensive. He judges a decision by its odds and its sums, not by how the loss would feel in the moment of taking it. He knows the feeling is real and roughly twice too loud. He turns the volume down by hand. And he asks the question that dissolves the trap. If I did not already own this stock, this job, this position, would I choose it today, fresh, at this price? If the answer is no, then keeping it is not caution. It is the disposition effect, wearing the robes of patience. If you want to go further, Kahneman set all of this down, gently and at length, in a book called Thinking, Fast and Slow. It is the clearest map I know of the mind that spends your money when you are not watching. The cold machine takes the good bet and feels nothing. You are not a machine, and you would not want to be. But you can learn to notice the flinch, to name it, and to let the arithmetic have the final word. Because the loss you fear most is rarely the one that costs you. The loss that costs you is the life you decline, one careful no at a time, to avoid a pain that was only ever twice its real size. Wealth is not what you have, it's what you no longer need to chase. Until next time.